Hello. So I haven't done a content like this on this account, but I thought that maybe I could do a little pool for our collective selves, just in case. It's for those of you who may not know already, I'm a huge fan of tarot cards. I think they're a really great tool for reflection, for growth, and I've used it in therapy settings too in the past, and I really think that it can be a really positive tool that gives me, hope and things to think about. And so, yeah, I have a whole collection, and I thought that maybe I could do a little pool for people who are looking at this video specifically. And I just did one for myself. This is a tea leaf deck, a lot of cards, so I think it's really good for telling a story, or some things that we can reflect on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little pool for everybody who's watching this video. I'm asking the universe to help me pick the cards that are gonna be the most helpful as we go on our day on Friday. It's gonna be for June 23rd, I think. Just things to think about on Friday, which is gonna be tomorrow for me because I'm pulling this today on Thursday. So I pulled my cards. I like to do a little tower. I don't know why I started doing it, but it almost is like a chronological story that makes sense to me. So these are the cards that I have picked for people who are watching this video, and it's for reflecting on Friday of this week. Interesting. I actually picked this card earlier today for myself, so I think that we're definitely getting this message that we have to really trust our intuition, psychic ability. Trust your intuition. Is there intuition that you're maybe ignoring, or that you are kind of not paying a lot of attention to? Maybe there's a part of you that doesn't trust yourself or the thoughts that come to you. A therapist once told me that a gut feeling is actually like a physical sensation that our body remembers, and that it's actually based on real things. It's not just some crazy thoughts that we have when we have like a gut reaction or a gut feeling. It's actually like a real thing. So it's funny that this same card popped up among, I don't even know how many cards we have here. So let's see. Okay. Interesting. So I see this top card as like kind of like a summary of everything that's going on, but I see the bottom row here. It says trust your intuition, and then the feather card says someone you know is undependable and insincere, with the third card saying things will not always be this way, a change is coming. So this bottom row, I'm getting a bit of a tower vibe when it comes to like relationships. Relationships are really the hardest thing, I think, in life, right? A lot of the times, a lot of our suffering is caused by relationships. So maybe there's somebody who is not the most dependable, or somebody that is not really sincere. Maybe they care a lot more about themselves than they do about you. And your intuition is maybe kind of telling you who this is. If somebody popped up when you heard this, that might be your intuition telling you exactly who that person is. You know, even this eye, it kind of looks almost like someone who's like insincere, maybe like they're kind of I don't know, very much self-interested, if that makes sense. But a caterpillar is a good card. It says things will not always be this way. A change is coming. A change in that relationship could mean that you're no longer maybe friends with them. You're no longer, I don't know, acquaintances with them. Or it could mean that, I don't know, people change. So I think, you know, your friend or whatever, a person changing is also a possibility, but I do think that it's difficult for people to change, to be honest. So maybe something will happen tomorrow that just kind of makes you realize like, oh, okay, I guess my intuition was right. Maybe this person doesn't really help me grow in my life. Maybe this person causes more harm to me than you know, good things, and maybe it is better to protect myself. It's maybe healthier for me to distance myself from this person. So I think that could be something that's going on. It's pretty specific. It says someone you know is undependable and insincere. The second row is elephant and dragon, both very big creatures. Could be a clue, you know, to who this person is, or maybe not. The elephant card says a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. So this could mean that, you know, maybe from this experience you learn to set better boundaries. Maybe you learn to prioritize your mental health and trusting your intuition instead of letting somebody else cause you harm and you doing nothing about it, right? Kind of ignoring that intuition. But you will come out, I think, wiser as you kind of go through this tower moment. Dragon card says beware of self-delusion. So these two cards definitely go together. You have to trust your intuition and sort of wake up from your self-delusion. And I think it can relate to this person. So obviously, you know, I don't know who is watching this video, so I don't want you to just like cut all your friendships or anything like that, you know, but I think it's just something to think about, you know. Do you let negative energy in your life, maybe because you think that that person will change, right, in terms of like self-delusion, or maybe you have gut feelings, you have things that like come up inside you, but maybe you're choosing to ignore them, or you're subconsciously ignoring them, right? We all have psychic abilities. We don't need to go see a psychic, right? To kind of be in tune with our intuition. So I think it's definitely something to think about. Are there things in your life that are causing or bringing negative energy into you? The last card is pineapple. It's very SpongeBob vibes, reconciliation. So this is interesting because, you know, all these other cards were all about sort of like getting away from a person or sort of protecting yourself from a negative energy. And this reconciliation card almost makes me think that maybe there will be some break and then you guys will come together at a later time. Or it could also mean that you're going to be reconciling with yourself by choosing to protect yourself and choosing to distance yourself from the negative energy. I think it's an interesting card. I always like put one card at the top and it kind of is supposed to sort of sum everything up. And I do think that this could be more of, you know, you with yourself, reconciliation. You're reconciling all these different feelings that come up, the intuition. You're waking up from your self-delusion and you're kind of reconciling and kind of being more in tune with yourself. So I think that's what it means. And I don't think that it means, you know, you guys will all come together, maybe. But that's an interesting card to think about. So cool. That's what I have for today. I will stop here and hope you enjoyed. Have a good Friday.